Hello there. Ever wondered what the strongest possible country is in HOI4? Not just the biggest military, but biggest industrial base, biggest manpower pool, and widest array of possibilities? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's the UK. But not just any UK. This trick requires a few special steps, some good timing, and a willingness to become the most powerful god ever in the HOI4 universe. And it all starts with this awful chap. For more tips videos and painful challenges besides, like the video and subscribe. You can also go watch my second channel, link in the description and pinned comments below. Alright, here we are, the UK. But we will not stay a very united kingdom for long. Old Chad-faced Stanley Baldwin here has to go because we are going to go the strongest possible path as the UK, which necessitates a change in course. The whole vibe of this strategy is very, very quickly getting as powerful as possible as the UK, which means annexing the entirety of the British Commonwealth. That's right, all of it. And maybe getting a little bit more as well. We also do need to get a very strong setup, so we will get as much economy tax as possible. Also rushing the 36 light because I don't want to be stuck with the 34. It's terrible. And since we're going to be getting so powerful so quickly, we're not building any civies. We're instead just building mills in the home countries because that's what we're going to need to focus on. The UK starting production line is just so like, Daimler Dingo? No, go away. I need guns. Please give me guns. Also just going to very quickly drag all of my troops directly into London. Why not? Always a nice idea to get everyone together. We're also going to be extremely cheeky and use the lovely trick of request forces. We can simply steal the entire army of every single one of the Commonwealth countries. Don't forget to just hunt down all the little Commonwealth countries because I truly do just forget about them every time. See, look, Salt and Muscat. Always forget them. You get 51. I think that's right. And we're just going to bring them all into the UK as well. Bye-bye, George V. We hardly care. There's actually some very sneaky things you can do because you will receive and keep all of the armies of the forces you requested from the Commonwealth. Making sure to bring all of my air force into London and train the hell out of it, as well as train all of the forces we've got in the UK. I've just put all the requested forces in a long line up Britain because you'll see why in a moment. Okay, and with Organize the Black Shirts completed, we get 200 PP and we can organize the Black Shirts. This will cause a civil war. It has a small chance of increasing fascism and making you lose stability, but honestly, it doesn't matter in the slightest. There's a whole thing of like holding anti-German speeches to try to delay the civil war, but it doesn't matter because it takes a few days for the game to register that you're below 50% stability, which triggers the war. So you have plenty of time to just click as many of these as you want. And there's lots of different strategies for making it as optimal as possible. For example, don't click London because you'll just steal London anyway if you have forces here. But mainly there are two core strategies, right side or left side. I'm just going to take all of the right side of the country because it's way more fiddly with the left. So we're going to start with East Anglia. You click it, wait for the event. There's the March of East Anglia. It literally just doesn't matter what happens. Fascists take control of the state. And we're just going to climb up on the right side. You could absolutely do this on the left. I just do it because it's easier. I'm going to grab the northern bits of Scotland so I don't have to fight in the mountains because it's really annoying if it happens. And I'm absolutely going to grab Belfast because I do not want a British VP to be over on Ireland. And with all those options taken, our stability is below 50%. So in a few days, the civil war triggers. I don't know why it's on such a delay. It's very strange. Don't forget to stop training your units. I always forget that. And there we go. The future of our nation is at stake. We get a lovely civil war. And as you can see, we've kept all of the forces we stole from the Commonwealth. This just doesn't make sense. I don't know why this happens, but it does. So we get 51 divisions for free. Mad. We also control the majority of the British Isles. We only really need to take things like Glasgow and Liverpool and Portsmouth, and they should capitulate. And even though we didn't ask for London, we got it anyway because we were standing on it. So all we got to do is just sort of wipe out all of the forces here. Definitely should still try to get some generals on. Kind of forgot to assign them. Hey, I'm not perfect. For the focuses, we're going to immediately go down this southern path here with God Save the King. Oh, and we also do get 16 divisions of Black Shirt Brigade. These really crappy ones, but that's fine. Just yuck them in, assign them to the line, and go crazy. We have an extra 50 divisions on them, so there's basically no hope for them. They're going to be utterly destroyed. You just got to kind of slither around them because remember, all of the Democratic Britain's forces get yeeted to their victory points like Birmingham and Liverpool and stuff, so they weren't on the front line, so they're able to snake around quite nicely. And look at that, I'm gonna be able to take Dover and trap a bunch of divisions in South London. God help them. The expeditionary forces are being called back. This represents the forces that we completely stole from the Commonwealth, which is really funny to me, and this is because they are actually on the other side of the war. They belong to Democratic Britain. But don't worry, they're not gonna be there for long. And when you leave them London, Birmingham, and Liverpool, just taking those 3 is usually enough to capitulate them with some surrounding bits as well. Might try and take Bristol at the same time as well. Yes, good AI. Abandon a victory point. Attaboy. Keeping a very close eye on the UK's capitulation score. So close. And with the collapse of Liverpool, they are now at 100%. But before we can allow them to surrender, you very quickly go to all of the puppets, little Commonwealth countries, and declare war on them. Don't forget a single one. Oh, I didn't steal the forces from Kuwait. Oh well, but we're getting them too. Every single one of you, you're all getting declared war on. And yes, I do have the soy face mod enabled. When you have a strange, silly little strategy, I feel it requires a silly little mod. And there we go. And because we declared war on all of the Commonwealth, we can annex all of the Commonwealth, which we're gonna do. Except for one single province of Canada. I'm gonna pick St. Lawrence, why not? Which we're going to puppet instead. Don't forget to take all the Navy as well. Unfortunately, we're not actually allowed to take the entire Navy, so we'll have to pick some to leave behind. And there we go. We have annexed the entirety of the British Empire. Straight away go to George the Sixth for some reason. What happened to Edward? Why did we just kick out Edward? All right, see you later, nerd. We control the biggest empire in the world, and we have the biggest navy with 5 carriers and 12 battleships. Now, but you might be thinking, okay, that's so what? It's just the Civil War guide, right? No. There's way more to this. Because we puppeted Canada, led by, Jesus Christ, look at his face, led by Adrian Arcand, we're now going to be real sneaky-like. Since we have so much equipment, we're just going to quickly spaff out as many infantry as we can. We're going to immediately hire Mary Sophia Allen because she gives 25% reduction of damage to garrisons and 2% non-core manpower. Absolutely insane. Seriously, do look her up. A very interesting figure. She dabbled with fascism a little bit. So we're going to move our entire army over to Canada. So we're first going to put military police in our cavalry brigade to being our official colonial garrison. We also get a ridiculously amazing modifier of the Mosley plan with ticking weekly war support, 20% factory output, and mill construction speed, which is just absurd. We're going to take that now just because I want to get out as many guns as possible over the next year. Bye-bye, King Edward. Even though we already have George, I'm not sure. Who cares? Doesn't matter. We've got Chad Oswald Mosley. My God, look at his face. And there we go. Unitary Canada has proclaimed independence. This is because they just don't ever want to be a part of this horrible fascist party, even though they are themselves fascist. This makes them leave and become independent. Don't worry, all part of the plan. We are, of course, many thousands of infantry equipment in deficit and support equipment as well. But hey, we're trying to catch up. Thanks to that ticking war support, we can now go straight to war economy, which is fantastic. A difference of 50% military factory construction speed and 15% consumer goods. Look at that. We're going to go crazy now. Next up is to prepare an invasion of the Americas. By going down the focus tree, you can bring the Dominions back into the fold, giving you annex war goals on all of your former puppets. Of course, there's only one now, so it's very easy. And you can also unite the Anglosphere by annexing the US. Now, you can actually just skip a lot of this by going through justifying war goal to speed it up, but I want to show you how to do it through the focus tree. Also, it does generate some world tension, and so I'd rather avoid that to ensure that lots of people don't join lovely alliances. So this time we'll do it through the focuses. Britain is just so strong. Look at this focus. Imperial conscription, it gives you 10% more non-core manpower, and considering we just annexed the entire Commonwealth, which has 466 million non-core, I think we're going to have quite a lot. As you can see, we've skipped quite a lot of the extra focuses here because we've already taken all of those countries. Now, in 140 days, we'll be able to attack America. Now I've got some air XP. Can't forget to actually make a fighter. We will need it. It's really easy to become distracted and not actually make the basic things you need. Let's call them Miss New Booty after a lovely YouTube member, and a nice classic Coffee Cass after another YouTube member. Oh yeah. And with Unite the Anglosphere done, it's time to go crazy. Alright, so now we need to fight the glorious nation of the US. They are very, very big, but they are also very, very weak and have something like a 10 or 15k gun deficit. But you have to play this very carefully, because what we need to do is we actually need to invade Canada again and re-puppet them. And we need to annex all of the US. Unfortunately, if you just attack the US, they will form the North American Concordat and for some reason invite France about 50% of the time. This is very, very annoying, but there's a very simple way to avoid this. If you attack the Unitary Canada, like I'm doing right now, now, you'll see that the US gets the event Unitary Canada under attack. So we just attack them, and they have literally no forces. Oh, probably should stop training my boys. Oh well. And we're just going to march one division each into their VPs. And even though we've already defeated Unitary Canada, we then get the Peace Conference, and we're going to puppet Canada. Not do anything else. We're not going to take them. We're going to re-puppet them. The US will still get this event. And most importantly, we're going to create a faction with Canada. This is the important step. Do not forget this. Otherwise, you will spend 3 hours testing this again and again, not understanding where you went wrong and why something didn't appear. Don't be like me. And I think we absolutely have to call this faction the Senko the Low faction, after my biggest and longest patron. Really appreciate you, buddy. The dawn of Senko the Low. I love it. There we go. The US is trying to enforce the Monroe Doctrine. We can either white peace with Canada, even though they're already dead. But we're just going to hold on to that event for a second while we reposition ourselves, and we're going to be going down the focus of reinforce the Empire. All right, let's do it. We're going to click doesn't concern them. This will force the US to actually declare war on us. This makes it a defensive war, and so France will not join. For some reason, Belgium joined. What? Belgium is guaranteeing my independence. Why is that happening? Belgium, what are you doing, bro? But who cares? We just click go and begin the brutal invasion of the US. Straight to the... Oh, maybe we should call in Canada. There we go. The war is honestly quite an easy one because you outnumber the US. They've only got about 40 divisions, so it's very easy to win. I have no idea why it says the British Raj is in this war and it has capitulated. It's best to just ignore that. And once you get a big breakthrough, you can just start going absolutely crazy. Like one single motorized division can pretty much go all the way down the coast. Oh, I completely forgot about Alaska. Whoops. It's fine. We'll just focus on the Northeast. It's honestly a bit of a slog because America's just so big, but, you know, you can just pour past a lot of their troops and just kind of keep grinding through. Plus, the more you conquer, the more industry you get. It is also a good opportunity to try to get as much XP as possible. Though you are going to be very powerful after this, you still need loads of XP. Also, since most likely Canada did get called in, do make sure you are building at least some factories in their territory because you do not want them to accidentally liberate themselves from being a puppet. And there we go. Oh, look at that. 8K guns. Looks like they got some guns. As soon as you take all the Northeast up to about here, they capitulate. So from there, we just select all and annex the entirety of the US and the Philippines. Now, obviously, this is incredible, and you are very, very powerful because you have control of the US, but it's so much to try to dominate, isn't it? It's such a bother. Look at all these states we're going to have to garrison. If only there was a better way. And there is. Create the Pan-North American state. This decision allows Unitary Canada to annex and gain cores on all of the US. This is, frankly, ridiculous, and the required focus for this is to have unite the Anglosphere. So we're just going to click it, because holy crap, game freezes, and then boom, Dominion of North America. And there's no reason why I should try to occupy Canada, considering I've got a powerful puppet, so I might as well simply go to occupied territories, filter it by ranked economy, and in Dominion of North America, return all of their territory. And so now there's a massive puppet with cores over the entirety of North America. Look at that. Insane. Just on its own, this is obscenely powerful. It's the 6th of August, 1937, and we've already got 5 full production lines of factories and 64 mills just because we're stealing some from our lovely puppet. They have to give us 65% of their military industry. So, we could call it there, right? But no, there's even more craziness you could do. There are now 2 things you could do. You could work to annex Unitary Canada by simply building in as much of them as possible, but then, of course, you still won't get cores, and it'd be like you just annexed it yourself. A far better thing is now to go down the focus order to the Imperial Federation. Most of these focuses are going to be bypassed because we've already annexed them. So we just spend a little bit of time continuously building up our economy within our homelands. And honestly, also we can build it in the US if we want. Austria's trying to break the treaty? Go away. It's fine. I'm going to embargo you. Screw you. You can absolutely just start justifying like crazy and conquering anyone you like because you always can, but sometimes it's fun to just see what the focus order tells you to do and what is actually obtainable that way. Plus, once you start justifying an attack, everyone, they'll all start guaranteeing each other and also joining factions, which will be very annoying. Oh boy, this way you're strong. You know, we do run out of steel and aluminium. We can just import even more from our lovely puppet because they're not going to be around very long to really complain about it. And there we go. Because we have annexed all of the Commonwealth, it bypasses 3 of the focuses. Actually, it bypasses 4 of them. So we can just rush straight down to the Imperial Conference. And there it is. The Imperial Conference let us push our agenda. We've only got the one country in the Commonwealth. If you've never done the Imperial Conference, you get the ability to discuss a variety of things, giving you a surprising number of little bonuses, including economic, trade, defense, and appeasement. No thank you. Most importantly, though, we're going to discuss Imperial Federation, and we can make a decision about whether or not we want to spend any PP. If you had lots and lots of countries in your Commonwealth, you could try to spend some PP to encourage it, but you seriously don't, because Unity Canada loves you. They just love you. They think you're the best. So they'll always say yes. They accept. This means that the Federation was a success. They will have daily autonomy progress gain reduction, and we can begin the Imperial Federation focus. You can also just do the other ones as well, like the economy one gives you 3% construction speed for a year. I'm not sure it's worth it, but if you got a bunch of PP sitting around, it can be okay. And there it is. It is the 8th of July, 1938, and Chadswold Mosley in the Senko of the Low faction has made the Imperial Federation, meaning we have annexed Unitary Canada. It doesn't show it just yet. Give it a second for the course to update. The rise of the Empire, and there we go. We have caught the Pan-American state. We also, for some reason, caught all of Australia and New Zealand. It doesn't actually say it's going to do this, but it does. It cores all the English-speaking world that was in your faction, which is insane. We are now at 4.69 million manpower. We have 231 civilian factories. I'm literally going to run out of places to build factories, and 160 mills. My God. We've been building loads of tanks setting up, and it's only July 38, and I've already got stockpiles of fighters. I've got 117 infantry divisions, 6 tanks, and even more on the way. You are geared now to absolutely dominate the world. This is, I would say, the strongest that the UK can be, and possibly is the strongest setup in the game. I don't think it's possible to be even stronger than this by this early in the game without, crazy stuff. But just through going through the focuses, you can get this powerful. This could be a great way to get an easy world conquest if you haven't done so yet. You're concerned about trying to deal with the early setup, because literally look at this. We're so powerful. I'm not going to go any further here. I just wanted to show you guys the trick to get as amazingly powerful as possible. This is the earliest you can do the Imperial Federation and still maintain cores on all of America and all of this. This is just truly insane. Full credit to Redditor Eric Arthur Brown for putting me on to this strategy. It has been a lot of fun to experiment with this and trying to get it exactly right. I think this is a great strategy you should go and do yourself. Thank you very much for watching. Do be sure to leave me a like and a comment down below, suggesting a video you'd like to see in the future. Check out the second channel, Aldrahill, links in the description and comments below, and thank you to all the YouTube members and patrons who so wonderfully support this channel and whose names you shall see shortly. Bye-bye.